Hey, welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name's Tim. This is Crooked River Homestead, off-grid. Well, today I'm trying out a new microphone, which I'm hoping will work because it's very windy and we've never had anything like these before. I'm going to touch it, but it's supposed to help cut down the wind, so we're going to give this a try today. Hopefully it'll work. Just tested it, seemed to work all right. But we got a beautiful sunny day here, another beautiful sunny day here on the homestead. And it's almost becoming a problem, believe it or not, because, well, this spring we had just endless rain. It was almost kind of scary to the point where we thought we weren't going to be able to get the main project done that we need to get done here with the groundwork. And we had already rented and lined up the excavator. So we were a little worried because it rained so much, and those living here in this part of the state or this part of New England knows what I'm talking about. We just had weekend after weekend of pouring rain. But eventually, the month of June, it stopped raining, and unfortunately, it hasn't started back up again. We have had some showers, but I know just north of us, they've had some good rain. To the south of us, it just seems to be going around us. So it's been kind of interesting. It's been good and bad, I guess, in a couple different ways. Obviously, we do need water, and we do have some in our well here, but it is getting low. I don't know how low it's going to go, and I don't know how much, if we're going to get any rain in the foreseeable future. I looking at the calendar, it's kind of sketchy right now. So we're not being real conservative, only because we know that when we purchase this property, it's going to be a year this coming month of September. It had been a pretty dry summer at that point, and when we got to digging the well here, I think it was sometime maybe in October, it was very dry. And when we put these casings in, these are 4-foot casings, 4 foot high, and there's 3 of them in the ground, so it's 12 feet. And we, as you can see, there's still, this top casing is still sticking out of the ground quite a bit. So we had actually bought 4 casings expecting to do 4, but we just couldn't get down that low, and we just kept hitting too big of rocks and whatnot. So we went with this. The extra tile we actually used up on the hill by the camper where we have it parked right now. We'll talk about that another time. So at the time we put this in, obviously we were pumping the water out so we could run the line and put it all together, make it work. And when we were done, we had approximately 5 feet of water. And so we know, with some estimation anyway, that was probably kind of a low water point, I'm guessing. We know when we were digging the hole, water was still pouring in at a good rate. We still had to use the pump to keep the water out, especially after we got the casings in and whatnot. So the only issue we're having as far as we're not having a water issue so much as far as we got plenty of water. We're pumping it up the hill, no problem. And I'll go over here, the well pump house we built and the pump and whatnot. But basically, we're not being real conservative, but at the same time, we're trying to deal with some issues with the water itself because it is sitting in the ground. It is only 5 feet of water. And we noticed a smell, which some of you may be familiar with if you have wells. It's kind of a rotten egg, sulfur smell. And it was getting pretty strong at one point. And so our plan was to, do the old bleach, which we had already done. I don't know if we did it last fall after we finished the well, but we did do it again this spring. But at the time we had water in the RV, so we could go, 24 hours without using the water of the well. Right now, the RV tank on board, the water tank is empty. So we'd have to fill that up. I don't want to fill that up with not good water. Not to say it isn't good, but it's not great. Maybe it wasn't at the best. But we decided to try some other things, or take some other measures, I guess you'd say, before we go with the bleaching route. We do have a test kit that we mailed away for that we're going to be eventually doing. And it's a recognized standard regular water test kit. We're going to have it tested for everything, obviously, but we're not quite there yet. We're not quite ready to send that in yet. I think what I'd like to do is kind of wait until we get a little bit more rain, let the water kind of fill back up here. I'm going to show you how low it is. I'm going to be going up and opening this up so I can take a measurement and see how low it is, and kind of keeping track of it, so that at least in my mind, I already kind of know the high water mark from last spring. If I know the low water mark and I know the difference, going forward, you know, it's a good starting point, place to measure and kind of judge everything from that going forward. But back to the water quality, we were noticing a sulfur smell, and I noticed just in general the water on the property, it doesn't flow obviously, so it does get kind of stagnant. I was talking to a family member who was telling me that they had a similar problem at their camp, and they recently installed or got some new appliances, washer and dryer, and just basically we started using more water because they had upgraded their septic system, and they noticed that the smell had started going away. So I think that kind of made sense. We were being conservative. The water was really kind of just sitting here, so when we used it, it was kind of, we weren't drinking it obviously, although they say it's safe to drink or whatever. We were just using it for basic use for washing and whatnot. And it wasn't really dirty, just wasn't the cleanest water we would call. So took a couple measures to kind of remedy that, and I'm going to show you what those are right now. You can see this is water filter that I just pulled out, and I'm going to show you this filter I just installed. And like I said, I'm going to go in the well here, and I'm going to show you how much water we got and what we're trying to do to address the issue. And it seems to be working so far. The water's definitely improved significantly. The sulfur smell is pretty much all but gone. The water's clean, it's clear. And so I think over time, as we continue going forward, it's just going to keep getting better and better. But let me get this well opened up. I got to take a measurement, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing inside the well here to try and help remedy that sulfur smell. All right, so real quick before I get into the well, let's show you what we got set up here. And this is the little pump house. This is just a temporary setup we have. We may not be using this all winter. Our goal obviously is eventually we're going to be getting our utility room in that container, which eventually has got to get moved over to this location, and we can't really do anything till we get our permit. So we're waiting for the permit. It's supposed to be here this week, and if we get it this week, then we can really start going gung-ho. Not that we haven't been working hard and getting ready for it, but at the same time, we kind of want to wait, can't get ahead of ourselves. So at any rate, so we installed, you can see the water line coming from the well, it goes down into the ground here and comes up from there. And we purchased this pump setup last fall, I believe, or maybe this spring, and we got that from I want to say Menards, if I'm not mistaken. And I think it was, I want to say it was under $400. Just the kit, the pump, the tank, and I got to say it works great. The reason I really like this is because it allows us to run either on 115 or 230, and obviously we're running on 115 here. And I think it's a 3/4. It says 1 horse and 3/4 horse, so it really works well. Really happy with the pump, the pressure, everything. Small tank, but what I've done here is I've run it temporarily. You know, this wouldn't be typical for a house setup probably, but we've got everything working right. So it goes up here, and it goes. The first stop is in this unit here. This is called a cycle stop valve, and I found this quite a long time ago, actually, on our former property in Hollis. I installed this. And the reason is this unit here, what it'll do is and I'm not going to explain it real well. You can leave, I can leave a link down below to a video that will explain a lot better from the company itself. But basically what it does is when you turn on the water and there's a demand on the water, this will read the amount of pressure and it'll adjust it accordingly so that the pump will not cycle on and off. If you're familiar with how pumps work, this one here cycles at 30 and 50, meaning when it gets down to 30, it will turn on and pump up to 50, and then as you use the water, 30, 50, 30, 50, on and off, on and off. That's what this unit is designed to prevent, the on and off. Once you start consuming the water in the house, it'll adjust the pressure and keep it consistent so that the pump doesn't turn on and off. Then once you turn off the final faucet, it'll just fill up, shut off, and wait for the next use of water. So we really like this. It was affordable. It saves power, saves some electricity, obviously, and also saves the pump. That's the big thing. The worst thing for pumps is turning on and off. So And not only that, but if somebody's taking a shower and you use the water in the kitchen or something else turns on, it's able to adjust it, the pressure, so that you don't even notice that it's actually being used in other places of the house. So at any rate, real nice cycle stop valve, really like it. And from there it goes into this whole house filter. We had one of these in Hollis. I've got videos on that also. And we really like this. It's not complicated. It's not a super great system. It's just a real basic, and it helps, as you can see. I showed you the filter a minute ago, but this is the carbon filters we use. I really like these carbon filters, and I can leave a link to these down below too. But these here are about $20 a piece, and they last quite a while. Obviously, it has to do with how dirty your water is. And I put this one in probably a week ago or a few days ago. So, as I said, the pump is new, the well is new, so we may end up going through a few filters initially, and the water's pretty low. But I know the water coming in, as I said, when we were digging the well, the water coming in was just as crystal clear as could be, but obviously that's just by eye. So at any rate, from there, we go into a splitter here, and this blue hose right here goes all the way up the hill. There's two 100-foot hoses connected together and right up into the RV. And I'll tell you what, we have excellent pressure, almost too much. You can't even, you can leave it full blast, but it works really, really well. So we're pretty happy. The one downside, I'll tell you what, on a sunny day like this water in this line right here, it gets super, super hot. So even if you put on full cold, you can't stand the hot of the water. You got to let it run all the way out, all the way back to here until you can get cold water back out of the tank. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But so anyway, from there we got a second hose. This second hose here actually runs over to my brother's camper over here, where he's just got it parked here to come visit us, and we supply him with water. So that's nice to have. We have his own control here, and same with the power. We're able to power him up from our unit here. So that's pretty nice. This is the 420 watt panel that we have charging our battery right now, which is, I think, just about fully charged because we've been having so much sunny weather. And so I'm going to get up here and make sure I have my tape measure, and we're going to open this up, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing in here. All right, let me get this opened up. And I'm going to take my stuff off because I don't want to drop anything inside the well. Now, let me grab the camera here and show you what I'm looking at. All right, I'm going to hold the camera with two hands. So, I don't know how much you're going to be able to see down in here. Well, basically, I don't know if you can see. I'm going to zoom in, and you're going to see bubbles right there, over on this side. And I can tell I can see the hose right here. I think that's just about at the bottom of this second tile, the middle tile. So it's dropped probably about 5-6 inches since about a week ago when I checked it. So we're still got another, probably 4-5 feet down. And I think, according to the research, just under 500 gallons of water, 400 something gallons of water maybe. So what is the bubbling? I was doing research on stagnant water and whatnot, and a popular thing for people to use is bubblers, aeration, for ponds and lakes and whatnot. And I thought, well, what's the worst that could happen if I give it a try? So this is what I set up. This little unit here, oh geez, I just bought it a couple weeks ago. I don't remember now. It wasn't very expensive, maybe $20 or something. I'm going to leave a link to that. It's a crystal clear, and it runs off of this AC right here, which I've got plugged into my power source. And I've got it turned all the way up right now. And you can see the two lines. And all I did basically, there's enough of a crack in between here that I was able to feed the two lines, one on each side. So I didn't have to do any drilling or anything. And supposedly these are good for quite a long time from the reviews I've read and whatnot. And the other thing I liked about them is they're rebuildable. You can buy the rebuildable diaphragms that if they once they wear out, you can rebuild it. So it's not junk once it wears out. So, and the other thing I really like about it is when I look on the app to see how much power it's using. Here's funny. It doesn't even show up. I think it's 5 watts or 7 watts, so it's very, very minimal. But that little box has made all the difference. The aeration of the water now, this no longer smells, and between that and the water filter, it's improved significantly to the point where it's probably safe enough to drink, but we won't touch that until we won't drink it until we get it fully tested, obviously. Seeing as how this seems to be working, I have to put my sunglasses on and barely see. One of the things it did state in the instructions is that the aeration, these are 2 little balls that are on the end of the hose. They should be a certain range. I think it's 12 inches or so below the water line, and where it's constantly changing, it's going down right now. But in the future, if obviously get rain, it'll come back up. But I want to be able to just have it adjust by itself. So I think what I was going to do is, I've got this jug, empty jug here, and I think what I'm going to do is just attach the hoses to that, and that'll keep the 2 balls on in the well at a certain level, no matter how high the water comes or low it goes. So we'll give that a try and see how that works. Okay, I'm not all sure what I'm filming here because I can't see with the sunshine on the camera, but I'm gonna, it's okay. I'm basically gonna reach in here, grab both those lines. Oh, pull them up, see what they look like. All right, there they are. They come, they got one-way check valves, and you see them here. They're supposed to be blue, but they're a little bit of rust on them. They're still working. And I probably have to get some more. This is kind of a test, like I said. If it works well enough, I may increase the size of the pump. But at this point, it seems to be working, so I'm going to leave it alone. I think what I'll do now, I can't pass that through there, so I got to pull these off. That's not too hard. Okay. I think what I'll do is I'll just try a knot in it, like a foot down. Not tight. I don't want to kink the hose, but I think that's pretty good right there. We'll give that a try. See how that works. Put these back on. I'm gonna have to get a stock of these. You can see the stones here are pretty brown and rusty. The water's just brown and rusty. I don't know if the air is actually causing it to kick up more dirt or silt or not. Maybe it is. Okay, now I'm gonna need to feed more hose. All right. Ooh, that's what it looks like so far. So I gotta just relieve the hose a little bit from the casing, and that's pretty easy basically because there's plenty of hose. Go inside. hold on to the camera. All right, so last spring when we were getting all that rain, it was actually a good thing because it kind of gave us an idea of exactly, we want to know what the high water table is so that we can work from there as far as making sure we have dry ground going forward and we'll build on. And what I did is I came out, I have it marked here and maybe backwards on the camera. It's basically on March 20th of 2025. That was the high water mark right here. And that was March. Here I have it marked May 11. Came up here again, so that's only maybe not even an inch difference. So, and this is basically the high water mark. I know that, and I've measured 26 inches down from the top of this casing to the high water mark here. And I know when I took a measurement inside the well to the water, I was down approximately, let's go take a measurement and make sure. All right, my tape measure. Let's see. As I said, we know what our high water mark is to the top of the casing. Right there we have 7 feet 3 inches. 7 feet 3 inches. All right, so I know from my notes a few days ago I took a measurement on 8/15, about 9 days ago. We were at about 7 feet down from the top of the casing. So basically we're down approximately 5 feet. We've lost about 3 inches in 9 days. It's not too bad as far as water goes, my measurement today. And overall, like I said, we're down roughly about 5 feet from the high water mark. We got about 5 feet of water in the well right now. So that's not too bad. It's not going down real fast. And like I said, when we were digging it out last fall, it was coming in at a pretty good clip. So I think we got a pretty good situation down here as far as the water table goes. So this, like the springtime when we got all the rain, kind of showing us where the high water mark is now. This fall, we're finding out where all the low water mark is. Hopefully, it's just our first year here, so we might learn more as we go on, but it's a good place to start. And the other benefit to this dry weather is it's giving us a chance to make some dirt over here, and I'm going to be talking about that in another video. And we bought a gravel pit here, at least part of a gravel pit, old gravel pit. So at any rate, that's about it for that measurement. All right, I made a minor adjustment, brought it up a little bit more, brought the stones up a little bit more. What I really like about this, the echo is funny. What I really like about this setup here is that now, before when the lines were just dropped in the tank, they didn't move. Now you can see it's moving around. Not much, but it is moving around, so that's kind of nice, for whatever that's worth. At least it's not just in one area. All right, well, whew. Put my hat back on here. Okay. Yeah, that was pretty neat. Well, pretty happy about that. As I said, we're still trying to make it, perfect to the point where we can drink it, obviously, but definitely big improvements considering we moved here not even a year ago. This property had no power, no water, no sewer. And although we still don't have no sewer, we do have a septic design, so we're getting closer on that. We do have water and we do have power, so we're pretty happy with all that. So anyway, just a quick video on the update on the well here in the pump, and things are going good with that, so I'm pretty happy about it. And for anybody that doesn't know, we have another channel called Crooked River Homestead that we initially started out with, and we had to bail on that one because YouTube just gave up on us after we changed our name to Crooked River Homestead Off Grid. So now we got this channel. But if anybody wants to go back, we've got over 500 videos on that channel, and a lot of good content from our old property, some from our new property here. But at any rate, we're not posting videos on that channel anymore. So if anybody wants to go back and watch any of that or come back here and subscribe. We appreciate it. Thanks for all our viewers. And if you have any questions or comments about the well or anything I did here, please don't hesitate. Leave a comment down below, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.